All right, guys, this is Dave Witchard, President FFL Velocity, and welcome to Weekend Warrior Podcast. And today I got a very special guest and guy I've really found just alike. I mean, just he's cool to be around and met his family and, five kids?
Five. Yeah,
Five.
for
Yeah,
sure.
he's got a basketball team. Yeah. So, anyway, but his name, I call him CJ. I guess it would go by, right?
Yep.
But it's Calvin Bannister. Say hi.
What's happening?
Yeah. So Calvin, CJ, as I call him, he has a unique story. So maybe I'll let him tell it rather than me kind of jump ahead. But I guess one of the things that I admired him about him is when I first met him is I heard where I won't share the whole story because I'm gonna let him do it, but he played at a league that a lot of us guys growing up would have liked to play. Let's just put it that way, and I'll let him share the rest of it. But then he tells me, then I found out what school he went to, and I remember one of the meetings I was in, dude, if you went to that school and you made it here, you can do anything, right? And I mean, and you understand, but to me, that's a big deal. So he's here building an agency, he's got a team, and that kind of thing. So CJ, just kind of tell us a little bit about like where you came from. Maybe a little bit about your background, obviously, your family, where you're from, that kind of thing. Just a little bit, so everybody kind of gets to know you a little bit.
Okay, cool. So I'm born and raised Roanoke, Virginia. I went to William Fleming High School. Left there in '02 to go to Hargrave Military Academy. From Hargrave Military Academy, I went to Hampton University, studied psychology, got a degree there. In 2007, I was an undrafted free agent with the Baltimore Ravens. So I played with the Ravens, played with the Jets, I played with the Eagles, and I also played in the CFL where I won a Grey Cup with the Calgary Stampeders. So that's been a journey in itself, right? They say NFL stand for what, not for long. So that just kind of lasted for a few years, and then after that, I just kind of jumped into doing things on the side or giving back to the kids and that sort. And then that turned into insurance before I came here. I was doing a little bit of insurance with another company and trying to build a business there, but, barely making it. So I just really wanted to get back to NFL money, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, and I think here's the thing. I was with Sean just last week, and we were in a meeting. And he goes, and college football, and he looks at me because he knows how much I just enjoy that sport.
Yeah.
And so if you guys don't know, I follow high school too, but Hargrave Military Academy is a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal. I grew up in Georgia, so I played football in high school in Georgia. I mean, that's a big deal, right? I mean,
That's
it's
right.
like Texas and some of these other states. Not that Virginia's bad. I'm just saying, like, it's just different. Like, you grow up and it's like, okay, you're five and you're going to be a quarterback or you're going to be this. And, I mean, they're label you when you're young.
That's right.
And I actually moved there when I was 12. But anyway, long story short is I always heard about Hargrave Military Academy. It was a great school. A lot of guys would come there just to play football and get ready for college. So I didn't know that. The other thing is my father and all his family went to William Fleming. Isn't that cool?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're right here. They live right there on Gulfside Avenue.
Yeah. Okay, I know what that is.
Yeah, I never shared. I don't know if I shared that with you. So that's pretty cool to know. And you have a family. You got five kids, right?
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your
kids.
family.
So 5 kids, a very controlling wife. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. 5 kids, wife, and my little girl is 4, and we had to do in vitro with her. So IVF.
She's
that costs-
amazing.
Yeah, she is a character in itself.
Life of the party.
Yeah, my son, he is 16. My stepson, he is 15. Daughter, 14, and then 12, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful family. We got to meet. We had a little Christmas party here. Got to spend some time with her. She was definitely a life party. She was awesome. All right, so you did the insurance thing here. What brought you to Family First Life? Like you started looking at it. Someone told you about it. We met, and then kind of a little bit of your story about that so far.
So yeah, I was building an agency with a particular company and wasn't making that much, and it's kind of unique how we met because my brother actually met you before me, and this was like when you were first building the business, and he just like you should trust this guy. He gave me your number, and I think you were out of town at the time that I had called, and then
Are
that's
y'all
when Rich
related,
called.
or is it just friends?
We just call each other
yeah,
brothers,
bro,
yeah.
like you're my brother now.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
Okay, cool.
And then after that, got the phone call, came over here, heard about the comp, heard how a lot of people were winning, and that you were helping a lot of people. And so I decided to, give up that business and kind of join.
Cool. Yeah. And so, what have you found out? So, do you have a certain carrier you like better than others, or anything like that?
I mean, America is A1 day one. You know that. I call it the triple A. America, Aetna, then AIG. Worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, that's cool, man. So we love having you around, and we just moved this new office, and you've got an office here, and you've got a team coming on, Will and some of these guys, and Justin. You guys are on the same team,
That's
and
right.
Rich, and what have you found about the support here at FFL so far?
You know, where where I've been before, I mean, it's just hard to kind of imagine that everybody's really helping everybody. You never really hear that. You hear it before, but you don't really believe it, and then when you experience it, it's definitely different. So JB's been around. Will is my guy. He's been my A1 day one. And so the help that the staff gives with the staff that you provide is it's been shockingly very appreciative of everything that's actually going on in this office, because I'm still in, like, we're moving fast, but we're not moving fast enough, and then that's because we're like kind of comparing things to other people. But the support is just out of this world, man. That's all I can really say around it.
Yeah. So when people are looking at this and they're thinking, hey, they're over somewhere else. They're thinking about coming here, and they hear the high comp, they
Yeah.
hear the leads, they hear get paid fast, simplified issue. Bonus hasn't got there yet for you, but it will. Um, as you're growing a team, probably looks like probably could be a sales manager this month, probably.
Yeah.
Then you get a logo and so on that when you're building a team. What where do based on what you know? So yeah, and our staff is great, so that's awesome to hear. I know they'll appreciate that. But yeah, so it's just I always want to create a culture, just paying back, paying forward, loving on people, not keeping the comp, and that's really what Sean taught me. And so I guess when we talk about the best training, like, would you say it's really good training? Would you say it's above average? Where would you fall content wise if you search out? I mean, it's endless, right?
Right.
You talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the training itself, and things, I've been in things before where, network marketing and things like that, where you had to actually pay for the training, and 20,000 plus over the years on how much you're actually doing. So I couldn't believe that you guys were giving the training away for free. That is, and it's on, I would say it's above average, because everyone's giving away their secrets, and I say secrets, but just basically what they're doing as far as activity, and nothing's wrong with copying the right cat, right? So I think, from the perspective of what we're making, I'm just still surprised that he's not charging. I mean, I would actually pay for it, even if he was charging, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you maybe learned here that's helped you, just be a better agent? Because you were selling before, and are you get on the Zooms, and I know you get on some of the trainings and things like that. And do you find it just a lot of systems in place that if someone comes here and it's just like a plug and play type of thing. If you just duplicate what's out there, you can be very successful.
Right. So coming here, what I've learned, especially with making calls and things of that sort, is you can just plug into the system, trying to get you a nice template that you can actually follow, and then over time, God give us gifts, and there's a gift in everybody, and so if you find out what your gift is and you tap into it and you believe that He's walked through every door before you and given you favor,
Big.
then you'll be successful in anything that you do. And so what I found here is that, as I start to develop myself, it's just being me. My script may sound different from everybody else's. There's no one right way, but you're going to touch the right person just by being genuine. So
How many appointments do you want to try to book, over a couple days to be successful? Here, would you say?
that number is 15 off the bat, 30 in a week. Yeah.
Have you found that anyone can do that? Like if they are willing to come in at 7:30 in the morning, whatever, start dialing and dial till if they have to do it till 7:30 at night, 9 o'clock, whatever, 200-300 calls, whatever, that they can book 12, 15 appointments and be able to go run those.
Absolutely. I'll tell you a funny story, Dave. Like, I found it very surprising. Like, Kevin Golden just started, and he didn't want to get on the Zoom right away because he felt uncomfortable on how people might judge him or whatever it may be. But he booked 15 appointments in his first day. So, yeah, anybody can pretty much do it. He followed the same script in boot camp and got his template, and now we're just kind of critiquing it to be more him so he can sound natural on the phone. But I feel like, my son, he sees me do it. He wants to do it as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and then we had the other young guy which comes in here.
Yeah, Jalen just came in here and Sam.
Sam,
Both
yeah.
of them are young.
Yeah, and then Will's following you guys, and he's working hard and things like that. So the team is growing, and Justin's. I mean, you're on his. You guys work together on his
Yeah.
team because just the way we did it. But at the end of the day, I mean, he works hard,
Well,
right?
yeah, JB said he sets a bar, man. He's come in. I seen him fall asleep in that office a couple times. So so I see it, And then if you see him get going, then the competitor in me, even though we're on the same team, it's like, okay, well, you did that. Okay, I got you. So
Yeah, I love that part. So tell us about you go in the home. What does that look like? Like you dial on Mondays, Thursdays, whatever. You book the appointment. What are some things maybe you say or do in the home that could help a new agent?
yeah, I just the expectation, like I said, I kind of use my likeness when I go into a home. I definitely tell them what I did beforehand, and I played football, and this is my city, especially if I'm in my city, right? And I'm just sitting down and asking them how can I help them from a genuine standpoint, and they'll tell you all the answers. You just kind of I have this process where I just teach someone how to walk through the door, so all the obstacles that you may see as an agent, whether it be price, whether it be the amount. I just kind of walk them through that small process. So it may start off like, okay, so what can I do to help you and your family? Who's the beneficiary? They'll tell me who the beneficiary is. After I get the beneficiary, if they're sitting in front of me, I'll just give that feeling of value of just saying, okay, so if they didn't come home today, how would you feel? Or could you have replaced this income and so forth? I also give them to give me a budget, whether that's on the high end and on the low end. And the way I do that is so if you could afford it, what you needed to cover your family for this small amount, what would that price be without thinking? And they'll tell me $40, $50, right? And then I said on the high end, excuse my language, but on the high end, if I gave you a price, you tell me to just get the hell up out the door. And they'll tell me, would that be if you said 120, I tell you to leave. So that gives me something to work with. And if they give you that budget, it's a clear close. There's no way you should walk out of that house and not close. So that's what I've done.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I might say it a little different, but basically the same thing. Finding their budget's important, I believe, and you know what they qualify for. I say that too. I'll say
Yeah.
like, hey, let's just be real. It's based on what you qualify for, and then at the end of the day, what you can afford. Because if you can't afford it next month, it's not going to do any of us any good to go through this. So I think that's important. Um, what have you? So so how fast? Like, so you get America, you run America, for example, they pay pretty quick, right? All the
Right.
carriers pretty much. I mean, there's a couple that might take a little bit longer, but Mutual, there's America, those they pay you fairly quickly, right?
That's right. So, even if as soon as you put the application through, they give you that decision, and then it's usually within the next day or the next day after that. 2 days max. You get paid pretty fast.
Right. What are, if anything, you've heard like that you've liked about FFL as far as a team? Coming from a sport where you were played the NFL, you're part of a team. Because for me, I never won a championship. We came close a couple times, but we had some good teams I was on and things. And I didn't play college. Wished I would have, but I didn't. Um, but I was always in sports and stuff. But for here, it's like to me, it's like being on the championship team. Like
Right.
it's like the best of the best. Would you? How do you feel about that? Like being in this industry and knowing that you have Sean Mike and knowing what we're doing. And as this IMO, we're gonna do 600 million this year, and the next closest might do 50.
Right.
You're with Velocity, which us. I mean, I'm not saying it's all about us, but
Yeah.
so how does that make you feel to be a part of a growth company like that?
Wow. When you really put it in perspective, sports wise, everybody wants to be a part of a championship team, right? Finding the right camaraderie. I think the camaraderie is what most players miss when they leave the game. When you leave the game, you miss the friendships and the people that helped you achieve an ultimate goal, right? And so just to be a part of this team, knowing that everybody plays their part. So when you're on the football field, you know if you're a corner, you depend on your safety to have your back. You depend on the linebackers to drop to the corner in the flat when it's time in cover three. You depend on the defensive ends and stuff to get to the quarterback so that you can make a play, right? So everybody plays their part, right? And so to be a part of velocity, man, it's like that Dave's got your back if you need something. If the staff is there and they're doing recruiting and things like that, they got your back on that end. Everybody has everybody's best interest as far as achieving what we need to achieve, and so I'm very grateful to be here and a part of that team.
Yeah, and Rich, duplicates what we're doing, and Brianna's great, their staff and things like that, and Rhinos and things. So that's cool too. It's just, and that's what it is. It's just it's all about trying to help and serve as many people as we can. And you talked about giving back to the communities and things. Before, can you see yourself a year from now being at multiple six figures and being able to do more for other people?
And I'm so looking forward to this. I mean, I visualize that every day. Me, Will, and a few people already talk about it. We've been trying to do this and make that happen over 5 years ago. Um, as far as being in a position to be able to really dive in and give back to the community. So I can see myself doing that. We got turkey drives and stuff like that. I can visualize all those things that we can do in the community.
Yeah, we need to do something here locally out of the office here. That'd be fun. Give back Christmas right now. We should figure out something here real quick. But yeah, so as we kind of wrap up the next couple minutes and stuff, somebody's kind of looking at, we're here in Roanoke, right? We got a big office here, 6,200 square feet, and they want to come work with you. How do they get a hold of you? And any other last comments you'd like to make about your journey so far, where you see your team going, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So how did they get a hold of me is my number's 540-759-6460. We're also on Facebook, Calvin and Ashley Bannister on Facebook. You can get a hold of me that way. My team right now, we're growing pretty fast. Maybe fast, maybe not fast enough, whatever it may be. But to see what we've been able to do in a short period of time, and we don't have that many active writers. So far, IP is about 23, 25, so we're pushing to the 50K mark. I hope to be a VP by January. So that's kind of where we are. And then have a few people hit a few ranks that started with me.
Yeah, I think that's definitely doable. We'll figure out a way to get Will and those guys, the sales manager, logo, and get VP definitely for sure. So I'm excited about that. So, anything else you want to talk about real quick before we wrap it up?
I'm good to go, Dave. Man, I want to thank you for having me, allowing me to come on a podcast. I look forward to more, to be able to share more experiences and things of that sort.
Yeah, so it's exciting. I mean, I was trying to get CJ in a while. We just this is our first actual full podcast. I had my granddaughter here yesterday just for a second for her birthday, but it wasn't a real podcast, but we had fun with it for a second. But this is the first one, so we're excited about that. And CJ's right here in this office. So again, if you want to work with him, you just reach out to him, and please follow us on Family First Life Velocity. That's our YouTube page. Go there and subscribe. We hopefully put out some good content for you. But if you want to work here in Roanoke, CJ's right here in the office. Come see us. Reach out to him on his phone number there. And we're just looking forward to serving more people, growing this business bigger. We want to do $100 million next year for Velocity. So, and be a part of the $850 million that FFL is going to do, and Sean Mike's vision, and that's definitely going to happen. So, thank you guys for allowing us to do this, and we appreciate you being on with us today, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much.
Let's go.